Jeffrey Epstein. A name that sends shivers down the spine. From hanging out with powerful people on his infamous private island to sex trafficking and suicide conspiracy theories, this guy's story is a wild ride from start to finish. How did he become so rich? What happened inside his island? Which celebrities were there? And is he really dead? Let's find out. So, Jeffrey was born in Brooklyn, New York City, in 1953. He attended local public schools and showed talent in music, graduating from high school at 16. He briefly studied mathematical physiology at New York University but didn't finish his degree. In 1974, he began teaching physics and mathematics at the Dalton School, known for his charismatic teaching style, and this is where you see the pattern forming. There were allegations of inappropriate behavior towards underage female students. He paid them a lot of attention and even showed up at a party where young people were drinking. Other former students also observed him flirting with female students. He later got involved with Alan Greenberg, CEO of Bear Stearns, and joined the firm in 1976. Epstein quickly rose through the ranks, specializing in advising the bank's wealthiest clients on strategies to minimize their taxes. He then became a limited partner at Bear Stearns by 1980. However, he left a year later due to a violation related to private securities offerings. So, in 1981, he founded his own consulting firm, Intercontinental Assets Group Incorporated, where he helped clients recover funds lost to fraud. During the 1980s, Epstein claimed to some people that he worked as an intelligence agent. He even had an Austrian passport with a fake name and listed Saudi Arabia as his residence. He changed his firm's name to the Financial Trust Company in 1996 and moved it to the U.S. Virgin Islands for tax benefits. He owned the largest private mansion in Manhattan and properties in Palm Beach, Florida, Paris, and New Mexico. In the early 1990s, Jeffrey Epstein had a romantic relationship with Ghislaine Maxwell, although the exact nature of their relationship is somewhat unclear. In a 2009 deposition, Epstein's household employees described Maxwell as the lady of the house, main girlfriend, and aggressive assistant for her involvement in hiring, firing, and supervising staff. It has been alleged that Jeffrey Epstein used hidden cameras at his Manhattan residence to secretly record sexual activities involving his rich associates, possibly for potential blackmail purposes. Artist Maria Farmer, who worked for Epstein, noted that Epstein showed her a media room in the New York mansion. In this media room, there were individuals monitoring small cameras placed throughout the house. These cameras were focused on private areas like toilets and beds, to monitor intimate moments. Additionally, Epstein maintained a record of the people who flew on his private jet, often referred to as the Lolita Express, which got its name from Vladimir Nabokov's novel Lolita, in which featured a middle-aged man with inappropriate attraction to young girls. Some of the famous people listed in these flight logs included former U.S. President Bill Clinton, Donald Trump, prominent attorney, and Harvard University law professor Alan Dershowitz, Prince Andrew, the son of Queen Elizabeth II. An accuser, Johanna Schoberg, even testified, stating that Epstein had mentioned to her that Clinton likes them young. In 2002, Trump previously said that he had known Epstein for 15 years and that he was a terrific guy who likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side. However, in 2019, he distanced himself from Epstein after allegations. Jeffrey Epstein owned several properties and islands during his lifetime. Two of his islands were Little St. James Island, which was also called by the locals the Pedophile Island, and Great St. James Island. They were located in the U.S. Virgin Islands, in the bright blue waters of the Caribbean Sea. They were the perfect hideaway for trafficking young women and underage girls for sexual servitude, child abuse, and sexual assault. Epstein and his associates could avoid detection of their illegal activity by law enforcement and prevent the young and underage girls from escaping. The island staff numbered around 70 people, including groundskeepers and gardeners, laundry ladies, and on-call boat captains. They wore black or white polo shirts and were sworn to strict secrecy, with a 58-page instruction manual from Maxwell to stay out of Epstein's sight while working. It was absolutely forbidden to disturb him while he was there, but they did once discover a box of sex toys while he was out. Jeffrey Epstein paid for Ghislaine Maxwell's pilot training and got her a $4 million helicopter to transport young girls to his private island. However, the girls that were brought there were very young, always wearing college sweatshirts, which seemed like camouflage. Sometimes they would be carrying shopping bags from designer brands such as Gucci and Dior. However, Epstein would exit his helicopter and board his private jet with female children. But it was said that he always tipped his staff really well, so everyone overlooked it. It says that once one 15-year-old attempted to escape by swimming, but Epstein organized a search party, recaptured her, and confiscated her passport. According to another alleged victim, Epstein raped her in his office in St. Thomas and had a gun strapped to the bedpost in his bedroom on Little St. James. According to the complaint, Epstein kept a computerized list of underage girls who lived in or near the Virgin Islands and could be brought there. His list has become public recently, and Disney was trending based on a claim by the musician Dom Luker. He stated, "Did you know that Disney was sending kids to Epstein's island for snorkeling trips?" The Disney cruise ship stopped at Little St. James Island for day trips for years, despite Epstein's history for pedophilia. The trip cost $60 per child, and all the children were between 8 and 9 years old. Although these claims gained widespread attention, Disney stated in April 2021 that they had no connection to Jeffrey Epstein's island. According to a lawsuit filed by Prince Andrew's accuser, Virginia Roberts Giuffre, Epstein would force them to have sex with clients while threatening and blackmailing them. Ms. Giuffre claims that when she was 17, Prince Andrew sexually abused her on Little St. James, which the prince unequivocally denies. She accused Maxwell of recruiting her as a minor in 1999 and grooming her to provide sexual services for Epstein. She first met Maxwell at Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago club in Palm Beach, Florida, when she was a 16-year-old spa attendant. She claimed that Maxwell introduced her to Epstein, after which she was groomed by the two of them for his pleasure, including lessons in Epstein's preferences during oral sex. Maxwell called her a liar, and Giuffre filed a defamation lawsuit against Maxwell in federal court in the Southern District of New York in 2015. While the terms of the settlement have not been shared, the case was settled in Giuffre's favor in May 2017, with Maxwell paying Giuffre millions. In 2005, Epstein faced his first accusation of sexual misconduct when a woman reported to Palm Beach police that she suspected he had molested her 14-year-old stepdaughter. According to her account, she was paid $300 to undress and provide a massage to Epstein, but she left the encounter wearing her underwear. This led to a 13-month undercover investigation by the Palm Beach police, which included searching Epstein's home. During the investigation, Palm Beach Police Chief Michael Ryder criticized the Palm Beach County State Prosecutor, Barry Krischer, for being too lenient and sought assistance from the FBI. The FBI got involved in the case, and the police alleged that Epstein had paid multiple girls to engage in sexual acts with him. Interviews with 5 alleged victims and 17 witnesses, along with a high school transcript and other items found in Epstein's trash and home, indicated that some of these girls were under 18, with the youngest being 14. During the home investigation, 2 hidden cameras were discovered, and numerous photos of girls were found throughout the house. Adriana Ross, a former model and Epstein's assistant, reportedly removed computer drives and electronic equipment from Epstein's Florida mansion before it was searched by the Palm Beach police. The investigation revealed claims that 12-year-old triplets were flown in from France for Epstein's birthday and then flown back the next day after being sexually abused by the financier. More people came forward with accusations, and when U.S. Attorney Alexander Acosta started building a criminal case, there were around 40 alleged victims. One victim said that Epstein took her to a pool house at his home in Palm Beach, Florida. He pulled down his pants, pulled her close, and proceeded to masturbate, she told jurors. "I was frozen in fear. I was terrified and felt gross, and I felt ashamed." Another girl, who testified under her first name to protect her privacy, claimed to have given Epstein sexual massages when she was 14. The woman described how Epstein would touch her breasts and buttocks until masturbating. Annie Farmer was the only accuser who testified using her full name. She shared in her testimony that Maxwell and Epstein had sexually assaulted her when she was 16 years old. She described a visit to Epstein's ranch in New Mexico in 1996, during which Maxwell rubbed her breasts and Epstein climbed into bed with her. She recalls being in bed in the morning and suddenly Epstein opened my door in this playful way and said he wanted to cuddle, and climbed into bed with me and reached his arms around me and pressed his body into me. Surprisingly, despite strong evidence, in 2008, the government reached a plea deal that led to Epstein serving only 13 months in prison, and he was allowed to work in his Palm Beach office for 6 days a week. Acosta later said he offered a lenient plea deal because he was told that Epstein belonged to intelligence, was above his pay grade, and to leave it alone. Epstein agreed to plead guilty in Florida state court to 2 felony prostitution charges, serving 18 months in prison, registering as a sex offender, and compensating around 36 victims identified by the FBI. The plea deal was later described as a sweetheart deal. Epstein spent nearly 13 months in prison before his release on July 22, 2009. He was then placed on house arrest for a year, until August 2010. During his probation, he was granted several trips on his private jet to his homes in Manhattan and the U.S. Virgin Islands. Even though Epstein's lawyer argued that he considered the Virgin Islands as his main home, the judge ruled that he must personally report to the New York Police Department every 90 days. On July 6, 2019, the FBI NYPD Crimes Against Children Task Force arrested Epstein at Teterboro Airport in New Jersey on sex trafficking charges. He was imprisoned at the Metropolitan Correctional Center in New York City. A search of his townhouse revealed evidence of sex trafficking as well as hundreds, if not thousands, of sexually suggestive photographs of fully or partially naked females. One of them included a painting of Bill Clinton in a blue dress. In a locked safe, compact discs with handwritten labels including the descriptions of the girls' names, Miscellaneous Nudes 1, and Girl Pics Nude. The safe also contained $70,000 in cash, 48 diamonds, and a fraudulent Austrian passport with Epstein's photo but a different name, which expired in 1987. On July 23, 2019, Epstein was discovered injured and semi-conscious on the floor of his cell at 1:30 a.m., with marks around his neck. After that incident, he was placed on suicide watch, but he was found dead in his cell at the Metropolitan Correctional Center in New York City at 6:30 a.m. on August 10, 2019. According to the Bureau of Prisons, life-saving measures were taken as soon as Epstein's body was found. On August 10, 2019, the Bureau of Prisons and U.S. Attorney General William Barr declared the death an apparent suicide, though no final determination had been made. Soon, his death became the subject of widespread controversy and debate. Many believe that his death was a homicide. But what do you think really happened? Do you think he deserved whatever he got? Tell us in the comments below and follow for more interesting crime stories.